In this lecture, we'll talk about the various parts of the Unity editor. So let's go do that. This is a brand new Unity project that I created for this lecture. And remember, this is not the default layout that the Unity editor uses, but I did describe in the appendix of the book that I gave you in a week 1 reading how you can change your editor to be this layout. This happens to be the layout I prefer, so this is the layout I'll use for all the lectures in the course. I'm going to turn on the Windows magnifier. Over here on the left, we have our project window, and our project window contains everything we use in our project. All of our scenes go here in the project window. All of our scripts go here in the project window, and we've already seen those two things, but we'll add lots of stuff over here in the project window. The project window contains everything we're going to use in any of the scenes in our game. Speaking of scenes, I always like to change the name of sample scene to some other name. I regularly change it to scene 0. And I just left clicked it to do that. And yes, I want to reload the scenes. And now I'll bring us back over there. You can also rename stuff in the project window by right-clicking and selecting rename. That will also let you rename stuff. To the right of the project window is our hierarchy window. And our hierarchy window contains everything that's in our current scene. Not everything in our entire game, just everything that's in our current scene. Speaking of our current scene, to the right of our hierarchy window is our scene view, and this is where we get to place all our objects into the scene. We only have one object in our scene right now. It's the main camera, which you can see from this icon right here. But as we build games, we'll of course add more and more game objects to our Unity scenes. So the scene view lets the game developer place a bunch of stuff and zoom and pan and all kinds of stuff to actually build the scene. Below the scene view is my game view, and my game view is what will actually be shown when the player is playing the game. So this is what the player will see when they play the game. To the right, I have my inspector. And the inspector is blank right now because it shows the characteristics of the game object I currently have selected, and I don't have any game objects currently selected, so let's go back and select the main camera. I just left clicked it. And now you can see all the components that are attached to that game object. And we'll talk more about Unity's component system later in this module. Finally, over on the left, I have my console window, and this is where I'll see output if I ever use debug.log or print in my scripts. I'll also see output here if errors occur while my game is running, and that's one of the reasons I prefer this layout to the default Unity editor layout, is because I can see right away stuff shows up in here in red as my game is running, and I can tell that there's a problem. I'll also point out that I've turned on this error pause button, so if an error occurs in my game, not only will I get the red message over here in the console window, but my game will also pause. It won't just keep running with errors happening, it'll pause, and I'll know something's wrong, and I'll look at the red error message and I'll actually fix that problem. Finally, at the very top, we have our main menu bar. So if I ever tell you to do file something or edit something, like edit preferences, which is further down here, and so on, you'll be using the main menu bar to do that. We won't be using the main menu bar very regularly, but periodically we will, and this is the place to go to use the main menu bar. By the way, one of the convenient ways to get at the Unity help is to come to the help option on the main menu bar and click it and select either the Unity manual or the scripting reference depending on what help you're looking for. And that just brings you directly to the appropriate help. So that's the Unity editor in a nutshell, and we'll use these windows and views regularly as we develop our Unity games. To recap, in this lecture we learned that the Unity editor has lots of windows and views that really help us as we develop Unity games.